Hello, in this lesson we'll talk about the while loop. I'll start with an example so I can explain better. So let's create an integer variable x and we create a while loop, and inside the parentheses we're going to write the condition. For example, x less than 10. Let's assign a value for x, for example 2. Now here we open and close the braces, and what's going to happen is when the program arrives here, it's going to check the value for x. In this case the value is 2, and it's going to check the condition. So 2 is less than 10, so the condition is true. So what happens is it's going to run this code. Once he runs the code, he goes back here and checks again the condition. If it's true, he runs again the code, and so on, and repeats running until the condition is false. So until x is at least 10 or more than 10. So if we write printf x equals %t x, now if we just leave it like this, it will run x equals 2, x equals 2, x equals 2 forever, will never stop. So we have to change something so the value of x is not the same. So let's do, for example, x equals x plus 1. Now in this case it will start by printing x equals 2. Here x will be 3, it will add one number to x. It goes back here, x is 3 is still less than 10, so it prints s equals 3. Now it's 4 after this, and so on until it arrives to 10. Once it arrives to 10, it will check the condition again. 10 equals 10, so 10 is not less than 10. So this condition is false, and it will jump from here to here. And let's now do the variation of the while, which is the do while. So the do while is like this, and the difference is the program will run at least the code once, and then we'll check for the condition. And then if the condition is true, it will run again the code. The difference from the do while to the while is, in the while it can happen that the code never runs, because the first thing the program does is to check the condition. So if x is, for example, 11, this code will never run. On the do while, this code at least once will run, and then it will check the condition. So let's erase this, and let's apply a while loop on our calculator program that we did on the last lessons. This program has a problem. You can do an operation with it, but after the operation it terminates automatically. If you want to do more operations, you have to start again the program, and that's not good. So we're gonna add an option in the menu to terminate the program. Okay, so what we want now is, once the user chooses the option number 5, so he inputs the number 5 in the variable option, we want the program to terminate. And how can we do that? It's simple. We just write a while loop here, and we write option different from 5, meaning if the option is not 5, you'll run this code repeatedly. Once the option is equals to 5, it will stop running this code and it will terminate the program. So let's open the braces here, and let's close the braces after all these codes here. Okay, so what should happen now is it will let the user make as many operations as he wants, and when the user decides to terminate, it will still ask for the first and second value, but then you will verify that none of the if conditions are true, so you will not run out any of this code. And then you will go back up, and then we'll verify that the option is 5, which equals 5, so it's not different from 5, which means the loop breaks and the program terminates. So let's try and see. For example, add a number Put value 2, 3, result is 5, perfect. Now let's terminate. It still asks for the input of the first value, 4, 6, and that terminates. So now we can improve this. We want that once the user chooses to terminate the program, we don't need to run this code anymore, because we're not going to do any more operations. So we want that this code from here to here only runs if the user doesn't choose the option to terminate the program. And how do we do that? We use the if statements by doing a condition option different from 5. And we open braces here, and we close the braces after all this code. So what happens now is the program will print a menu. The user will choose one option. If he chooses one of the operations, so 1 to 4, then the program will check the condition, and the condition is true, so option is not 5, so it will run this code. It will ask for the inputs of the first value, of the second value, we'll check which operation the user wants, we'll print the result, and then it goes back up here, because the variable option is not yet 5 also here, so it will start again this code. And once the user decides to terminate the program, so he inputs the number 5 in the variable option, the computer will check this condition, and in this case you'll see that option is 5, so option equals 5, so this condition is false, so it will jump from here to here, and then it goes back up and checks the condition of the while. It will verify also that this condition is false, so it will jump from this condition to the end of the program. Let's see if it's as I said. So let's this time do a divide operation. 40 divided by 2, correct, 20. Now let's terminate the program, and it terminated. So that's it for now. I'll see you in the next lesson, and I hope you like this lesson. Bye.